what is going on, everybody? What is going on? Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Alan wasahalan. Whatever you want to call it. This is your boys, the duo. This is the Expat Bros. What's going on, everybody? This is your man, Justin Hamza Tyler. And to my right or left of the screen, I don't know who it is. AB, you can say your thing.
Yeah, it's your one and only. It's your boy AB. Welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 3, coming
Yeah.
live from Doha, Qatar. What's going on? What
Yes.
are you saying?
Absolutely. Yo, you got the Bass Pros shop. So you fish or you just wearing it for the aesthetic?
No, bro. I'm actually both actually. I actually like Bass Pro.
Okay.
Living close to Michigan.
Mm.
There's a lot of Bass Pro shops there, and I actually enjoy Bass Pro products, and I enjoy fishing, and I like the
Mm.
aesthetics. So it's one of my many hats that I own, you know what I'm saying? And if you know me, and
Yeah.
for those who don't me, if you ever want to get me a gift, I love hats. I love like these trucker hats are my thing.
Oh yeah. You back in the
Yeah.
2000s Pharrell era when he came out. You know, the nerds, they had the trucker hat game.
Bro,
Serious.
I was growing up with the trucker hats with
Mm-hmm.
the Bass Pro, the Von Dutch.
Oh yeah,
Those
Von
are
Dutch. Yep.
those are my kinds of like if I like one of my boys from back home.
Mm-hmm.
He's still into Von Dutch, so like he buys. I don't know where he gets it, but I think eBay or something, somewhere like that. But
Yeah.
he buys like the Von Dutch hat still, and he rocks it, and they look nice to this day.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man. Fashion is really about the person's expression of their personality, who they are. You know, if Von Dutch is who you are, Tom Hardy or Ed Hardy, what is it? Ed Hardy?
Ed
Not Tom
Hardy, Ed
Hardy.
Hardy,
Tom Hardy is the
Ed
actor.
Hardy.
Yeah, Ed
No,
Hardy.
shut. Ed
Yeah.
Hardy's dead. Ed Hardy's dead. Shut.
Okay, I can't
Yeah.
bring that back up. All right, all right.
No,
You
no.
know,
But yo,
I
but
thought I was
if
gonna
you
resurrect it.
man, have you noticed now?
Mhm.
The new age of fashion now. They're bringing back baggy clothing. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I saw that. I thought we was back in the '90s because even the females in the '90s wore the baggy clothing as
The bag
well. You know?
clothing.
Yeah,
They got these tight shirts on top, and then like these like baggy cargo pants now. That's
pants.
what's in.
Yeah,
Pants are
yeah, I
cargo
saw that.
with like 40 pockets on each side, and
Yeah,
then they're walking, and then they're rocking some like bulky Air Forces, you know?
yeah, yeah. It's different, man. You know, but it is what it is. You know. What's your favorite brand, by the way? Like if you had any clothing brand, what would that favorite brand be?
Bro, it's funny because like right now I'm wearing Adidas,
I
but
see it.
it's funny because like I'm just strictly Nike, man. I love Nike.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah. Bro, I'm always about comfort. Like I'm always about comfort. It's comfort over
Mm,
style for me. But
mm,
comfort can be stylish. So that's always been my
true.
thing. Just to have like mobility and like just to feel comfortable and like loose, and that's been always my thing, like, you know? So I
Yeah.
just like I'm not someone like name brands and designers, like it's not for me. Like, not saying I don't have those kind of things in my closet, but like I wasn't someone
Mm,
like it's not for me. Like I'm not a designer kind of guy, and like because I think most designers are ugly anyways. That's to me.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
No, that's cool. I was just curious, man. You know, we all wearing some type of labels and things, and I kind of like you as well. I do like comfort, you know, over anything else.
yeah,
I'm a big Carhartt fan. Carhartt.
Carhartt's nice.
I wear the
Carhartt's nice, man.
t-shirts. T-shirts are nice and
Ooh.
thick, you know, comfortable, you know, nice and roomy.
And they
And
last long.
yeah, they're really well made. I love
Yeah,
Carhartt, and also when I want to dress it up, you know, I'm a Ralph Lauren, you know, polo type of guy, very
polo,
classic. You know, I went to
classic.
prep school. You know, I got a lot of clothes from that era. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So I really
yeah.
enjoy that. So cool, cool. Well, that's not even a part of the itinerary for today, but we just
Look,
talking. You know, what I mean, give a
look,
little bit of information.
little bit, a
No
little bit of
doubt,
finger roll. You know what I'm saying?
no doubt, no doubt.
Little bit of jelly.
Yeah. Who Javon Quinterly, you know what I mean? Isaiah Washington, you know, shout out
Isaiah
to them.
Washington.
Yeah,
You know
Isaiah
what I'm saying?
Washington, Jelly fam, shout out to them.
Ye-
But
Yeah.
yeah. I know a little bit about it, you know, I'm from Jersey, you know, New York right across the
Yeah.
river. I know all about it.
Facts.
Um but yeah, no, like today's show, you know, we have some really important topics to talk about. First and foremost, definitely want to say like, comment, and subscribe to what you see in the video. I definitely want to hear people's thoughts on our questions, fashion
Yeah.
choices,
Fashion.
you know, anything like that. You know, are we old heads because we don't get this new fashion, or are we all right? You know, so let us know in the comments. You know what I mean?
Let us
And
know,
then you could,
what do you support?
yeah, And then you can find us on the Expat Bros on most of your platforms. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, the Expat Bros. If you want to send us an email, let us know how we're doing or not how we're doing. If you want to collaborate with us, get us on your podcast, you got some ideas for us, the Expat Bros at gmail.com. You'll see it on the screen anyway, but I think I'll just let you know as well, So
Facts.
without further ado, let's do what we came here to do. You dig? You know what I
Let's
mean?
get
So we got
let's get
4
it.
topics today, AB. 4 topics. Number
Yeah.
1, Cameron. He recently said on his podcast, right? Shout out to Cameron and Mace on their podcast and Stat Baby.
Shout
He
out to
recently
them.
said, I am a Black American instead
Yes.
of an African
African
American,
American.
and had some
Yeah, yeah,
choice words about Africans and their relations with Black Americans, right? So
yeah,
I
yeah,
want to talk to you about that and your ethnicity. You're African of the continent as well as from your ethnicity. So I wanted to get
yeah,
your thought process as well. So that's the first thing. Second thing is I saw an episode from Rip Wright. Rip Wright is a
yeah,
huge YouTuber, Muslim. I think his name is Suhaib Islam. Shout out to him. He
yeah.
went to Oblak and he was shedding light on how Islam, in the most, they call it Chiraq, right? In the most
Chiraq, Chiraq.
violent, I guess, inner city hood in America, arguably. He said Islam is transforming Oblak little by little, and more
It's
people are
calming it down.
seeing their ops as Muslims instead of ops, you know?
Mm,
So it's
mm.
interesting. So I want to talk a little bit about that. The third thing is the dangers of AI and implications for the future. It is real.
It is real.
It is. I mean, some of the things I saw a Joe Rogan clip about this, and 2 experts were talking about AI. I was flabbergasted. It makes me think: should I even be online using my
Yeah, yeah,
voice, using my
yeah,
image?
yeah.
I'll
Your
never
image,
put
your
my kids
voice.
online, my future kids, inshallah. I'll never put them online, never have their face anywhere because you just don't know what people are going to use it for. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And then the last thing on a lighter note, what's your favorite restaurant in Qatar and why?
That's my favorite note. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's the best one. That's the topic
That's
I
the
want to
best.
get to first. You know
That's
what I
the
mean? But
best.
we're going to say that for
We
the
save
end.
it best for last.
Hey, look, brother, a brother know how to eat. You know what I mean? Check my
You know what I'm
stomach out.
saying?
That's proof. Brother know how to eat in these streets. So we're gonna talk about the favorite restaurants because I love your restaurant as well. And it could be big budget, low budget, medium budget, right? All that. So we're gonna talk about that. So those are the 4 topics. How you feel about those topics, man?
Let's get it, man. These are
All right.
prime topics. Let's get it.
Facts. Facts. Let's go.
Let's get it.
First topic, my friend Cameron. What do you think about what he said about being Black American instead of African American? And as someone who is from Somali descent, do you feel like
Yeah.
there's division between Africans and also Black Americans? How do you guys view us? I know you're not the spokesperson, by the way, but like, what is he saying? What is true? Is it not true? Let me know.
You know what's it called? First of all, like, don't forget, I'm Canadian as well, right? So for
True,
us, we don't really look at race the same way that you guys look at race. That's number one.
true,
So
true.
so it's weird because like you don't ever hear saying, "Oh, I'm African Canadian." Like you don't ever hear Canadians saying that. Just that you
No,
say you're African
I ain't never hear
or you're
that.
Canadian. You never hear it. You can never hear it. But like when you go on the other side of the pond, you hear African American, African versus this and that. You know, and so these conversations are kind of like a strange
Right.
side. You know, it's not the typical like the typical things that we talk about now. But America has been dyed in race so much that these topics are prevalent, you know. So when people, so unless you have walked a mile in their shoe, you'll never understand it, or you'll never get it, you know. And like what he's talking about, to some degree, it is true
Yep.
because these people are the descendants of XY people that came prior to them, and they've seen the change in the country to the point where they are now. Now these new people that are coming, they don't have the same struggles as the ones that are currently been living here, so,
Hmm.
or living there. So they don't understand it. So there is a divide, even though the color of the skin is the same. There is a divide, so they can't speak on each other. However, the African Americans don't know the struggles that the Africans have gone through as well. The ones that
Hmm.
have come to the country and immigrated and all that stuff. So they don't get it. So there's a there's like a barrier, you know, like there's a
Yeah.
barrier, there's an entry point. So they don't get it. And then also, do you remember that that interview that Morgan Freeman did a couple years ago, where
Okay.
I forget which talk show he was on, and
Right.
then he's like the talk show host asked him, how do you identify yourself? And he's like, I'm American. He goes, oh, you're not
Mm-hmm.
African American? He goes, no. He goes, I am American. He goes, why you don't hear people say, oh, I'm white American, Mexican American, Asian American? No,
Right.
they just say American. But when we say
Facts.
black people, we call them African Americans. Why is that? You know? And it was like it was a very like legit question. Like, why do
Yeah, it
we
was.
just classify African Americans rather than Americans? Like, if you've lived there, you have the citizenship, you have all these papers, you have the documents, you are a citizen. Why aren't you just American? Why are you
Mm-hmm.
African American? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So that division in words alone makes people feel that they're different. You know what I'm saying? And then so what he has um does have, what do you call it, substance behind it, and
Mm-hmm.
and then to his point as well, you can see the difference in people. Like, you can see it's the African Americans. they've they've been through cycles where it's very hard to break very hard to break in different parts the poverty cycle. It's very hard to break it. Do you know what
Right.
I'm saying?
You're
While
right.
an African is coming into the country with, most of them, with the notion that if I make it, my whole family makes it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's very
So
true. You're doing it for your family.
you're doing it
It's
for your
very
family,
true.
bro. You're doing it
Yep.
for your family. You're the same as you have the immigrant hustle, the immigrant mentality. So whatever I'm
Yeah. A,
doing,
yeah. AB, you made a good point. You made me think of something. A lot of the Africans that I knew, that I went to school with, and that I know in real life, it's a stereotype that Americans are lazy with the opportunity that they have, with the passport that they have. That if they
correct.
were in this position in America with an American passport, that I would do double what the
Yeah.
African American has done. Do you think that's a real thing where, Black Americans are not taking the opportunity as seriously with the passports and all the benefits of being an American citizen? Is that true?
No, it is true to a certain degree, but
Okay.
you also have to take it to the point. Look, right. So this is a very, you're walking through landmines. Okay. So to a certain degree, it is true, and I'm not
Hmm.
going to deny it. But these people, through years and years, have also been through trauma and of so many things, of their grandparents, of still holding the last name of their slave
Hmm.
owners. Of There's so many, like, if the more you peel the onion, the deeper you see it gets. So it's
Yeah.
not as simple as it is. Well, these Africans are fresh. Yeah, they have problems in their own countries, but they're coming with the hope and faith that this opportunity will change their lives.
Yeah.
So it's a different mindset. It's a different mindset. Now, how long do African Americans in the States have to feel sorry for themselves and not
Mm.
see the opportunities that they can?
Victimhood, right? Is that
Victimhood.
you're talking about
That's
victimhood? Right, right.
victimhood. How
Hmm.
long do we have? And then it's not up to me,
Mm.
and I can't tell them, like, oh, like, stop crying over spilled milk and
Right.
blah, because it is indigenous. I'm not indigenous. It's called not indigenous. What's the word? I forgot the word. But
Yeah.
it is lack of empathy. So I can't say that. I can't, because
Hmm.
I don't know their struggles. I don't know what they've been through. I can't. It's like me going to, like, someone who just lost their parents and be like, "Don't worry, things will get better."
Yeah.
It's not it. You know, it's not it. So so both sides have a point, and also these guys, the Africans, think that the African Americans are lazy because they see all the food on their table, the opportunity on the table. They see it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not present in their what do you call it? Where they're coming from, and the
Right.
African Americans and the but they also, the Africans don't see all of the years of trauma and the shadow that's so large behind the African Americans. They don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They only see what's in front. So they see the strong passport. They see the opportunities into their strong currency and make double of whatever an African can make. They see the opportunity to do business and so forth. And, they see all these things, but they don't know what those things came at a cost of.
That's very true. And just to let you know, AB, it's a little bit of delay on my end in terms of your visual. So I'm just trying to follow what you're saying, and try
Okay.
to get in as much as I can. Just let you know that. Um,
I appreciate that.
yeah, no problem, man. No problem. The thing is too, AB. We talked about the victimhood thing, and that's a real concept in Black America
Hmm.
because a lot of people feel like, okay, we're at a point now and in a generation now where we have all the resources and the information to make a move. Maybe our parents did not have it. Maybe they had to go through civil rights and go to
Correct.
school being called the N word and being harassed. And really, America never really integrated as much in terms of education. You still went to school most of the time with large population of your people that from you. You didn't really
Yeah.
go to another school that was maybe you're the only Black person and things like that. It didn't happen right away like that, right?
True.
So the thing is, it took time to even get to that point. But like my parents, they are civil rights parents.
Mm.
And so they went through things, right? There was really a system that you can see that was oppressing them.
They seen it.
But
They lived through
as
it.
yeah, been through it. Tell me stories. But now my generation, I felt like my parents literally, I guess, sacrificed so much just so I can be in a position that I am in today.
Correct.
And with the advent of technology, there's a lot more information to be shared. There's not as
Correct.
many gatekeepers anymore, right? Where
No.
back in the day, if my mom had to know something about expat teaching, because she was a teacher, right? She
Mm.
had to learn from someone who put her down and gave her the referral to go overseas and to contact this school or to go to this education fair. Now I can go online and check out everything that I need to apply, and I don't even have to talk to someone about it or get a referral about an expat experience as a teacher.
No.
So it's a
You
lot
don't.
different now. And I do believe that there is a bit of victimhood is the truth, but there is also still some bias in people's hearts and minds when it comes to hiring.
Absolutely, there is. Listen,
Yes.
you will never change human bias. It's impossible. You can't.
Mhm,
Human
mhm.
bias, this nepotism, favoritism, human bias, these things will always exist in every level of institution, whether it's education, whether it's healthcare, whether it's real estate, whether whatever it's hospitality, whatever it is. There always be some kind of gate, whatever religion, skin color, gender, whatever it
Whatever
is,
system,
creed,
whatever system we're talking about. Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
whatever it is,
whatever it
and
is.
the sooner you understand the game, the easier it is for you to play it. So what does that mean?
Mhm.
I know for a fact, based on my skin tone, I won't be allowed into certain circles. So I can feel sorry for myself. Okay, I can be like, oh, it's called the world hates me. That
Mhm.
I'm not part of XYZ club or whatever it is, right? Or I can change my mindset and find people like myself, either same mindset, same skin
Yep.
color, same whatever, and we can create our own space.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
and that's the only way you can. If there's ever an obstacle where you can't get through it, can't go around it, can't go over it, can't go under it, then you have to forget the obstacle and create a whole different building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
no,
create a whole.
absolutely.
That's it.
But but you found your tribe. And
Yes.
sometimes all it is just finding our tribe to validate the journey that we're on. Right?
Bingo.
And if
Bingo.
I can validate that journey with these other like-minded individuals, then I can prosper too. There
Correct.
was where I'm from, like where my family's from in Newark, New Jersey. There were, I think, a trio of doctors that went to school in Newark. And if
Mm.
anyone knows Newark, Newark is a very rough place to live, but it's a nice place, nice people, but very rough place. And what happened? These guys had the dream of being doctors together, and they all graduated and were successful doctors. I think they wrote a book as well about their experience growing up in the inner city and becoming all becoming doctors, right? That was their dream. But they
Mm.
were a tribe that never left each other. They were true
Bingo.
brothers in that sense, and they
Mm.
overcome the odds. We have so many stories of people overcoming odds.
But
Black,
also,
white, Latino, Asian, right? People
yeah, man.
overcome odds every single day and continue to do that. And as Muslims, as you know, we are nothing but our response to trials and tribulations in life and how it tests our faith negatively or
Bingo.
positively, right? How do we respond? That's what
Yeah.
it is. And so I do think there's a system that's in place, but I do think more and more as well, we have to overcome victimhood because there are too many examples of how we can overcome victimhood to get to where we need to be, right? And be grateful for where we are in our station in life. So I hear you on that. I think the other thing, just to close out the topic, um, I do think there is some level of people that are, like, say, Africans that are coming over to America. You have to pay some level of respect to what Black Americans have done to develop the great country, quote unquote, of the United States of America. If it
Facts.
wasn't for African American labor and intelligence, right, and then mobilization and coordination, America wouldn't be what it is today. If it wasn't for their help in the Civil War, in the Revolutionary War, right?
Facts. Facts.
I mean, this the whole starting point of American history is also Black history as well.
Correct.
So I do think there needs to be some respect given to that. Um,
But the thing
Also,
is,
as well,
but also,
be yeah. Go ahead, go brother.
sorry to cut you off.
You good, brother?
The respect goes back to African Americans don't know their own history that well as well, or the new generation, not the old one. Your
Yeah,
parents,
yeah.
they don't know. Like your parents have sacrificed so much, and your grandparents have sacrificed so much,
Mhm.
but but you don't know this history. So when an African comes, if you don't know your history, how am I supposed to appreciate your history? You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Don't
the
get in
issue. You
trouble,
know,
AB. He's saying
but
the truth, though. He's saying the truth.
no, but we have to keep it a buck, which I agree with you, 100%. Africans do have to appreciate the uh the the road that's been paved for them. You're right,
Yeah.
absolutely right. But if the keepers of this road don't understand how this road was made, then how am I going to appreciate a road? I'm just going to say, oh, just this road was here when I came. Now I'm going to use it myself. And and
Hmm.
and and if there's no legend or there's no sign saying this road was paved by the brave people of so and so for doing so and so things and around so and so time, then I will then it's not my history because I know where I came from. I came from this
Yeah.
country in Africa, so I know where I came from and I know where I'm going. I'm trying to
Right.
get I'm trying to make this money and get this opportunity and bring my family and get this green card. And
Right.
I know my goal. You know what I'm saying? I
Absolutely.
know I'm not uh I'm an immigrant to this country and I'm trying to acclimate to the country and all these things and I have my things. I have my mind set, you know what I'm saying? But if the keepers, the ones that have inherited this responsibility don't know what's going on, then the fact of the matter is you won't get that connection of understanding, acknowledgement, empathy. You won't get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're right, man. And I will say this though, being in Qatar, I would say that comparing what I'm about to say to what Cameron said about the Olympics, where you're only considered an American at that
Yeah.
time, right?
When you
Now,
win, if you
when
win,
you win, if you lose,
yeah.
you.
If you
Man, that's
lose,
good point. That's funny.
if no, bro, it's not Cameron, bro. Every
Mm.
uh Ozil said it. Ozil, the German midfielder said it.
Oh, soccer
Karim,
player. Yes. Yes.
yeah, Karim Benzema said it. All these guys.
Hmm.
Karim Benzema said, "When I score, I'm French. When I play like when I don't score or I play like crap, I'm a terrorist or whatever. I'm Muslim." He said it,
Hmm.
and then Ozil
Mm.
said the same thing as well. And Ozil was one of the few players that like because the minute he started talking about the Uyghurs in
Oh
China,
yeah, China. Yeah.
and he got sacked by the German team immediately. Like he got sacked. And then like he had a hard time finding teams afterwards to play for, and then he had to retire. Ozil could have still been.
Yeah.
Ozil was one of the best midfielders, like of whatever it is. Like
Right.
so, and but due to but going back to your point with Cameron, he is right. You're only American if you produce something for the country.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And then also in Qatar, this is the first time I've ever been called an American without being a Black American, without having something affixed to that title, just
Yeah.
American. You know, I
Mm.
remember approaching a man. Actually, I didn't approach him. He approached me, and I was at the post office, and he thought I was Egyptian, old man. And I said, I don't know Arabic, man. I'm sorry. Whatever. I'm American. I'm a Black American. And this is when I first got to Qatar. He said, "Oh, you're Egyptian." I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "Oh, you American?" I said, "No, I'm Black American." He said, "No, you American only. The Black doesn't matter." He made me know right away. And every time I go anywhere, you're American. I don't hear Black American like I used to hear in the
Mm.
U.S. So it's actually
No.
refreshing just to be called American instead of Black American. Um, but I think we baked this, I know, really profound responses, AB. I really appreciate that. I really
Likewise,
wanted to
bro.
get your response from as soon as I saw the clip. So we're
Yeah,
going to
yeah, yeah.
transition now. Let me write this down, because I got to, do all the timestamps for YouTube. But
Yeah, yeah.
we're going to transition now to the second topic. This is, we always do a topic about the Deen or
We have
Islam
to,
as
man.
well.
It's natural.
Always have to, right? So um, Islam is transforming O Block, one person at a time.
Yeah.
Now, Rip Wright on YouTube, very inspirational. Even though I haven't lost the weight that I wanted to lose, this guy's always doing calisthenics, hood workouts, as we call them, all
Mm.
over the world, right? But he's also an intellectual, guy. And
He
he
was
goes and travels to places
he
around
was in Dubai a
the
couple days
world.
ago, eh?
What do you say?
Yeah, I said he was in Dubai a couple days ago.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, I think actually sorry, a couple weeks ago he's in Dubai. Because
Oh,
I follow him
okay.
too, but I follow him too.
Oh,
So
you
he
do?
was
Okay.
yeah, he was in Dubai like doing workouts and stuff like that.
Man, next time, I hope he hears this. Next time, I'd love for him to come to Doha and link up with him because I do think he's really inspirational and love to see his channel grow. And he's an entrepreneur as well. His products are
Yeah, yeah,
being
yeah.
purchased all over the world. And he
Mashallah.
goes to different places in different hoods, right, in the U.S. And I say hoods for anybody who's not for the urban vernacular, just neighborhoods, right, just different places in the U.S. And he was in Chicago. He was talking to different people in the community, a young man who was in the gangs who actually converted to Islam, and then also some of the imams. He took an imam, I think, from Philly or Jersey, with him, and there was other imams in the community that live amongst the O Block. And it was interesting to see how the young man said that, these were my ops before and people that we used to, go, war with and things like that. And then now I'm forced to see them as a same brother, a Muslim, a Aki, just like me. And it's changing the way that I look at someone else. And I think it's also having a profound effect on how others look at, ops who are converting to Islam. If I'm not mistaken, Little Dirk is Muslim.
Yeah,
Um, there's some other prominent rappers who have become Muslim. There's other artists who have become Muslim recently as well. I think Untitled Chapter. I think Little Dirk. There's a lot of others. I think the boxer Javante Davis as well. There's a lot of Muslims, alhamdulillah,
Devin
that are
Haley.
reverting. Yeah, reverting. So, what do you think, AB, about how Islam is taking over and actually overcoming some of the gang culture tensions that are happening in arguably one of the worst neighborhoods when it comes to violence in O Block in Chicago?
Yeah, so I think first of all it's beautiful. I think it's number one, it's beautiful.
Yes, yes.
For those who don't know,
Allahu Akbar.
O Block is in Chicago, aka Chiraq, and
Chiraq.
a little history behind the name Chiraq. So I remember this. I remember this because when was the Iraq War happen? What 2008? It was 08, right?
I'm not sure, my brother. I'm not even sure.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I remember this very vividly. I forgot the year, but was when America was still in Iraq, and then that was the Bush era, and the Secretary of State comes out, and they were just giving out he's just talking about the dangerous parts of America, and at one point he mentioned this like alarming stat, and he said that like there's more crime and murder happening in Chicago O Block area, that area,
Mm.
uh, than in Iraq. And then they coined the name Chirac bore that name. And
I
then
never knew
people,
that.
bro. So, but
Wow.
people have to deep it. America was in a war in a foreign country, and a city in the Midwest in their own country
A
was
section of the
have
city, AB. A
a
section,
section of, yeah,
not the whole
Southside
city. A
Chicago,
section.
Southside Chicago,
Right.
man. And people need to like deep the numbers, because imagine how much death has to happen where you're more than an entire war happening in a foreign region. But that being said, number one, Allah always works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
He is the best of planners. Uh, and what we saw as a bad thing as humans, subhanallah, over now, how many years has it been? 15, whatever years,
Mm-hmm.
however, how many years it is, and look at the beauty of what's coming out of it. So we as humans were so narrow-minded and short-sighted that we didn't see the bigger picture. Okay, where one of the most dangerous areas in America and possibly the world too, um, is now blossoming into a Muslim Islam, and all this positive, positive vibes that has been going on. And I think it's beautiful, man. I think like like it's amazing how Islam is a flower that always blooms in places where there is hardships, places where there's adversity, and
It rose from the concrete, you know?
it arose from the concrete, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, once that flower blooms, an entire forest follows through.
Mm.
So it's expanding at a massive rate, and it shows you no matter what anybody does, like if Allah wants Islam to happen, it's gonna happen regardless. Like I told you that one verse in the Quran. When Allah tells his he goes, if you don't follow, don't worry, there will be 100 after you that will take this religion, and they will love it,
Mm.
and they will pray to me, and they will follow me till the day of Qiyamah. Like, so Allah doesn't need you, it's us that need him, you know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
these
yes.
people, so no matter what, like we think that we are the earth is around us and we are the center of everything. No, we are not. We are the least common denominator in every possible equation. In every
Yeah,
possible equation. Like Allah does,
yeah.
like we are the ones that need him at all times in every aspect. Uh Big or small, doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
don't get it twisted. We need the
don't get it
source.
twisted. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm
He
not
is the
surprised.
source. We need the source. You know what
I'm
I
not.
mean?
I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised
Yep.
at all. I'm not
Hmm.
surprised, and it's beautiful because you know what's it called? Uh, there was a story in the Seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, right?
Hmm.
And this shows you just a. Let me give you a little bit of what do you call it? Connection, right?
Break it down.
So in the Seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, there was a treaty. And the Treaty of Tabuk, right? So Ghazwat Tabuk, right? So this was a treaty where when the Prophet was in Medina, he did a treaty with the people in Mecca. So
Hmm.
the people of Quraysh. And
Right.
this treaty was stacked in a way where the Muslims were losing. Like the clauses they were adding, all these things, but yet the Prophet still went along with it, right? The Prophet ﷺ still went along with it, and he signed it, right? And if you read the treaty, every clause was against the Muslims. Like it was like it was a bad bet, basically. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah.
And the Prophet had so much faith in Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, obviously, as he should, because he's the Prophet ﷺ and Allah is the Creator.
Hmm.
However, but the most blessing time in that time frame of that treaty, the most non-Muslims converted into the religion at that time period.
Subhanallah.
So what
Hmm.
was supposed to be uh like like I said, to us humans, it looks like a bad thing, but
Hmm.
Allah has the greatest vision that ever can be envisioned. You know,
Hmm.
because he is Allah. So what was supposed to be them winning, they didn't win. So
Right.
the most Muslims converted in that area, sorry, in that time frame during that time period, and it shows you now the same thing. Now, how does that work with here? These guys, now what you think? You think of the hood, you think of these young kids,
Mhm.
you think of gang bangs, you think of what's it called, kids selling food on the side, all these things, boom, boom, boom.
Mhm.
And then now look, right now Islam is spreading in an area where it should have never been spread before. But yet, and the crazy thing is, I've come to realize now, actually, not I'm older, people who accept the religion, and this is probably my take. Okay, this is my take. This is my opinion.
Right.
But
Right.
but typically people, and not always, but what I've seen is that people who seek out the religion, they seek it out. They are before non-believers, and then they become believers. That are practicing the hardest, going the hardest, and showing their religion in the highest aspect level. Doesn't mean that people who are born into religion don't show that. But I'm saying
Hmm.
typically people who are born into religion, it takes a delayed time to do those things because they think that the deen is for granted. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
It's a mindset thing. So it takes, so to foster those kind of emotions and energy, it takes time. You have to go through adversity. You have to see, because you were born into it, so you don't really see the golden
Hmm.
egg that you were given. However,
Yes.
if you were never given that golden egg and you seek that golden egg, then now you've put that golden egg in a glass cabinet, and you're like at all times protecting your deen, like, and you're showcasing it,
Yes.
and you're like, I am Muslim and I stand for this and I don't do this and I don't do that, and so it means more to you because
Yes.
because you know life before you're Muslim. So now that you found the truth, you protect the truth, you know?
But AB, one of the things that is interesting is that, from a Black American perspective, I remember people when I first reverted to Islam, they asked me, "Oh, did you go to jail?" And I
Yeah.
used to get mad, like, "What are they talking about?" But they usually hear a lot of the stories of reversion with Black Americans in jail while being incarcerated.
Facts.
And so either it's like you were a gangbanger or you were doing some nefarious activity, you landed in jail, you got a chance to read the Quran, and some other Muslims were there as well, or they offered you protection. And therefore, when you came out, you were a Muslim. And I
Mm,
said to them, no, I made my own choice. I don't have a record at all, a criminal record. I don't have any tattoos, never gangbanged. I've never been a part of any nefarious activities. It's just who I am and the choice I made and the research that I did. And so sometimes people don't understand kind of where actually an American can revert. Because even when I was performing Umrah, it was like it was a shock that an American was a revert.
yeah,
But in other circles, when you also break it down as a Black American, it's also a story of incarceration sometimes when people ask you. And I don't get upset with that or anything like that. But it's also, we all have our own paths, no matter how we get there.
correct.
As I told you before, if I took you back to my high school, none of the people there would have probably thought I was Muslim or going to be Muslim, except for maybe one or two people
Yeah,
who knew
man.
me. Other than that, you didn't think I was going to be the next person. So I'm really happy for O Block. I really hope that this is really in their hearts, and
I mean,
obviously Allah knows best, and that they get this resource that they need because it's a decision, but they also need a community behind them to feel supported in their
yeah,
decision, right? And when
yeah,
things get hard, they have a resource to go to. If they get pulled back into the streets, and where are you going to go? And so it's
correct.
also the community behind this. So hopefully that this is, I know it's a real thing, but hopefully it's something that can sustain these individuals and they get
I mean,
the provision to move away, from
mm,
that environment and to take others
absolutely.
with them to create a better environment, a better community. So,
It's crazy.
inshallah.
It's
Hmm.
crazy because Allah guides who He wants to guide, right? So,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
none of the Sahaba back when they were in Mecca in Quraysh in the earlier days
Yep.
when the religion was growing, um, at the time the religion needed some strong guys, some strong personalities, right? And this is when the
Yep.
religion was still fresh. So
Hmm.
they needed some strong personalities because Quraysh was doing some bad things to the Prophet ﷺ, all these things. So the Prophet made dua, and he said,
Hmm.
Allah, whoever you bring, have them of this kind of caliber. And the crazy thing is, no one knew Allah's plans, and obviously no one knows Allah's plans. And
Right.
that person that Allah brought was who? Was Umar ibn Al-Khattab, you know?
Yep. Yep.
And Umar, and none of the Sahabas thought Umar was going to become Muslim, you
Yeah,
know?
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Nobody thought Umar was going to become Muslim,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And the story of Umar is so beautiful that, like, and that's why Umar is one of the most common names
Mm-hmm.
as a Muslim. You always hear Umar, and whenever you hear
Yeah.
Umar, people associate the name Umar with the original Umar ibn Al-Khattab. And Umar
Mm-hmm.
is such a strong name, such a strong personality, and it's such a beautiful story. So going back to Oblak, if Allah wants you to be guided, you'll be guided.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt. And if Allah allows you to be lost, then you'll be lost. There's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like there's no doubt.
Yeah.
What's meant to find you will find you regardless. And what's meant to not find you, no matter how hard you try, will never ever find you. So
Yeah.
so the religion and the truth is one of those things that if you have been chosen by Allah and you found it, then
Mm-hmm.
you've won the lottery, basically. You know what I'm saying?
You can't run away from your truth, man. You can't run away
You
from your
can't.
destiny, right? You
You
can't.
can't, bro.
You can't run
You
away
can't.
from it, man.
So
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 yeah.
if and the West has been, if you notice, the West has been growing in Islam.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
the
absolutely.
more the more people try to deny it, the more people say there's a reason why Islam is contagious, and the love for it is infectious, and you see it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People, when they convert or when they revert, you can see that and I've noticed, and I've been noticing on people's faces, when you are born into something, no matter what it is. Like, for example, I'll give you another example, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that are born into wealth are most likely to go broke than the first
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur who had to
Yeah.
work his butt off to get to that wealth.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's it's the same thing about the religion. If you are born into it, you don't really appreciate it. You don't,
Mm-hmm.
as much,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
unless you get older. But yes.
yeah. I mean, I can attest to that. You know, when I was Christian, I didn't really dive into it hard. You know, I mean, shout out to my stepmother, my mom and my stepdad, and they were all like vehicles of being in the church and things like that. It's just a matter of me knowing where I needed to go, and I just wasn't going there with this vehicle of Christianity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things you have to, think about and make a decision. And I made my
Facts.
decision. I felt like I had the best discernment at that time. But yeah, I didn't really take it seriously. I was doing things that I wasn't supposed to do, coming to church on Sunday like I was new. It's just
Facts.
not how it works. And I
Uh-huh.
remember in Islam, I would see before I was a Muslim, I would see other Muslims, and I would just marvel at just how nice they were to others, and I would marvel at their discipline, especially the men. And I know that the Nation of Islam is not the Sunni Islam. It's not the traditional way that we all know, but that was also another vehicle that branch led me to the tree. So
Mm,
even though that branch was not necessarily the most authentic, right? But it had a place for Black Americans during the time when we didn't have a place in America, and it did raise a lot of
correct.
good people. But for me, what it did was more so like, okay, yeah, I know that, but I'm going to go take this a step further and really go to the source, like Malcolm did when he actually took his Hajj, and he actually saw what he needed to
MashaAllah.
see, to transform
Yeah.
him, before he before he left the earth. And so that's what I
Masha,
did, and it was able to do all those things. So it's
MashaAllah.
amazing. Shout out to O Block. Shout out to Rip Wright. Shout out to all the leaders in O Block and to all the newly converted Muslims or reverted Muslims.
Mm.
We're here for you, man. Tap in with us. We would love to hear your story as well.
I mean.
I mean, we're going to move on. We have about 15 minutes or so to get through two topics. One of them is a very easy topic, but we could talk about it
Yeah,
all day.
I'm
Other
excited
one
for that
is,
topic.
yeah, we almost there. We almost there, right?
We're almost
The
there.
next topic, here right now is dangers of AI and its implications for the future. I'm going to go ahead. I want to start this off. I'm
Yeah,
going to
go for
start
it, man.
this off right
I
now.
know you've been gearing to go, so let's begin.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to start this one off, right? Um, I saw a Joe Rogan clip with
Yeah.
two experts on AI,
Yeah.
and they were really scaring me about AI and how it can be misused for the future.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I like realness, even if it scares, because I know how to kind of lead and maneuver my family. And the first thing I
Correct.
said was, "Man, they can take my voice, call someone. I could call them and say, 'Hey, I'm in danger. I'm in distress.' And it's an AI saying, 'Hey, I'm in danger. I'm in distress.' And they need $20,000. And it's not me, but it sounds so real, and it can freak out your family. It can freak out everyone around you because it sounds like you.
Mm.
Someone can purport something that I didn't say, and it sounds like me. Someone could do a deep fake video of things that I did not say, but it sounds and looks like me. And it just kind of scared me in terms of who gets their hand on this technology and how much AI is accumulating information over the years. Because let's be real, we have to feed AI as well. The
Correct.
more we feed the database, the more information it has to make more intelligent decisions. And so there has to be a database of some sort where there's more AI that's being put on, uh, piled on, and more information is going into this database. What's going to happen when it becomes too smart? What's going to happen when it challenges humans and say, are humans even worth them working, or AI can do all the work? That's a new reality that we have to think about. Because I remember I think it was a governor candidate for New York, I believe, or he was a presidential candidate. I'm not sure, but it was Andrew Yang, and he was the first
Mm.
one I heard talking about universal basic income, or UBI,
UBI. Yep.
because of technology and the advent
Mm-hmm.
of AI and how it's going to
Mm.
replace us in terms of the jobs that we have.
Yep.
Not all the jobs, but at some point, there's going to be a widespread of people who are available to work, but there's not work for them because technology could do it better and more efficiently. And so
Correct.
UBI came about and say maybe we give everyone $1,000, every family $1,000 as a basic income for each month. And it's scary. It's really scary. And I think the other thing is, I'm not a father yet, but inshallah, when I become a father, this made me not want to post anything about my white wife or my kids or anything like that, because I don't
Mm.
want them to be anywhere misused for AI or for any type of negative activity out there that I can't control. Because once
Correct.
you give it over to Facebook and Instagram and social media and all these other platforms, it's theirs to use for the
Yep.
manipulation.
Yep.
Even when you consent to certain things, they can sell off your data to third
Which
party,
which they
companies,
do. Which they do, by the way.
right? Which they do, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of money for that. And
Yeah.
so I don't have control of these things once I consent. And so therefore anything can be used from them. So my question is to you, are you just as worried as I am, or are you okay with where technology is going, even though if you can't control it or not? What's your thoughts on that?
You know what's funny? Before I answer your question, there's a saying, right? There's a saying.
Mhm.
If you don't know what the product is, chances are you are the product. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's
So
an AB quote, or that's somebody who
no.
you
That's
read
that's some. I read it. It's not my quote.
okay,
None of
okay.
these. I'm just good at
That's
memorizing
official
quotes.
though. That's
You know what
official
I'm saying?
quote though.
No, but it
Hmm.
is. So what does that
Hmm.
mean? All of these social media platforms, they're free to join. They're free to make a profile. They're free. The minute you make a profile, and obviously everyone never reads the conditions and terms. What do you call
Maybe
it?
lawyers, maybe
Yeah,
lawyers, but that's it.
lawyers, but
Yeah.
not but no one reads the condition and terms screen. They just like scroll through it. And nowadays, before you have to scroll through it, then press click. But now you can just press click. You have to even scroll anymore. You just press now. But the point I'm trying to make to you
Hmm.
is that these what do you call it? Platforms. So Facebook's, Instagram. Well, Facebook owns Instagram, but Twitter, all these things. When you make a profile, you're basically making an online avatar. You make an online avatar, you are creating a page where everything you like. So whatever you like, whatever you do, whoever you follow, whoever you see, that is your timeline. That is your feed. Your
Hmm.
feed is shipped to an algorithm. Okay, this
Hmm.
algorithm looks at your friends, looks at your profile, looks at how you color it,
Who you
how you
follow?
change it, who you
Yep.
follow, who you change,
Hmm.
who you engage with. All of these things are data points. And they're basically building an online avatar of you in their database. Now, that's all free. Okay. So once again, what if you don't know what the product is, because you don't buy things on there, you are the product, what your likes. So they sell you. If I follow a lot of basketball pages, chances are they're selling me basketball products. So they take this data and they say, hey, Abdullahi likes basketball, so who can I sell this data to? Okay, we'll sell it to Wilson basketballs. We'll sell it to Spalding basketballs. We'll sell it to Air Jordan. We'll sell it to. So these guys, these companies, Spalding, Wilson, Air Jordan, blah 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 blah, all these companies that relate to basketball will now start pumping commercials into my algorithm, and my algorithm puts it into my feed like as if I can't see. And over time, my brain just like assumes it's just me and I'm growing my feed, and I love this and but I'm actually an experiment. This is a social experiment. This is you're basically a social experiment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
people don't understand that because people think everything in life comes at a cost. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You know what I'm saying? So you are right. Your data is always being sold at all times. Your data is being sold to credit card companies. Your data is being sold to e-com companies. And then there are certain companies that literally their whole business model is to buy data from these social media platforms, which, by the way, what's his face? Zuckerberg was in jail, not in jail, sorry,
Yeah.
was in
Well,
trial for,
trial
was in
for
trial for, and
or
and
hearing. I don't know if it's a
so,
trial, but a hearing at
hearing
least.
for,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he said yes. She goes third party application, third party we call it vendors do purchase these data things. So you need to limit how much you put on the internet. You need to limit how much. And now answering your question in regards to AI, AI is scary because it has expedited so much of that fear, you know? And
Mm.
it's not like, because bro, think about it, right? Our phones has our pictures. Our phones have our thumbprints. Our IDs now are on our phones. So there's so much data on our phones that we share with these applications, and then like the iPhone tracking and this and that. So is your fear warranted? 100%. Now, but the question is, can you mitigate the problems with these things? Yes, you can, but we're moving at such a fast rate where people are doing everything based on convenience now,
Yep.
and that's the hard part.
That's the
And
hard part. Yep.
that's the hard part, bro. Because you not putting your picture online, cool. You see a bigger picture, but then like your kid 10 years from now would be like, "Oh, my dad's so old school. He doesn't want me to like. If I had my picture, I can pay for my food at school. You know what I'm saying? I can just do now retinal eye scans and pay for food now. But he doesn't understand that the school having your retinal eye is an invasion to your privacy. Do you get like this? So there's so much, bro. And the faster we move every year by year, because by the way, all this stuff exploded after COVID. By the way, once we started doing
Absolutely.
once COVID has invaded everyone's privacy. Yeah, we were 6 meters apart, blah blah, all the things. But COVID has exposed and it has exploited everybody's privacy. When we make these applications for the CR code, the QR code, when we are talking to doing things, the Zoom calls on business calls and schools and all these things. So now we've seen technology now is more in our lives than it's ever been. More, you know what I'm saying? So now
Right. Yeah.
people can pay everything on their phone if they want, you know?
Yeah. You know, AB, it's something that we are going to have to use because we're locked into the ecosystem, right?
Correct.
Unless you're living off grid in a cabin and you're able to live like that. But if you're in the system, you're going to work within that ecosystem. But like you said, there's ways to mitigate that as much as you can. But at the same time, it is, like I said, it is scary. I think it's outrunning us. And I do think that the system is rigged in some ways where they're going to absolutely force you to and lay down to it, and it's up to you in terms of what you want to give the internet. I can choose what I want to give the internet or not, right? And regardless of what people think of me, I will be that old fogey who doesn't, give anything, right? Or I'll lay down and say, well, I need to do it because if I don't have a digital footprint, then I don't exist in the 21st century.
Yeah.
So that's something that I always dealt with myself. I what I do in school. I do social media and other things like that. And I was the same person who did social media for the school, but didn't have a social media profile. I just made one because I know that it's important to have a digital footprint, obviously from my job. And if I want to, move around in my career and things like that, you got to have a face. You got to have information that all connects the whole
Mm-hmm.
persona that you're giving to the public. So
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. It's something to monitor, but I think we also have to limit the risk as much as possible, at least from a personal perspective. So,
100%.
yeah. We're going to move forward. We got 5 minutes. We're doing really good on time, man. We got
Yeah,
five
yeah, we're
minutes
doing really
left
good on time.
for the best topic that we both want to talk about, and it's the easiest topic on the ears. I'm gonna let you go first because I know you're like an unofficial endorser of this company. So, what is your favorite restaurant in Qatar and why?
Listen, bro, my favorite restaurant, it's not even a restaurant. Well, yeah, I guess it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
I am team Tea Time. Tea Time is my favorite restaurant. I don't care what anyone says. It's easy on the dollar. Well, sorry, on the real.
Yep.
It's easy. It's
Yep.
easy on the. It's easy on the stomach. It's easy on the taste. Like you will find the bougiest people at Tea Time, and you will find the people who are the normal people at Tea Time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Tea Time
Mhm.
is my favorite. If I can get
Yeah.
endorsed by Tea Time, I've made it in life. And by endorsed, I mean just give me one meal a day. That's it, and I'll talk about you all the time. You know, so Tea Time is my favorite, bro. I don't
Yeah.
care what anybody says. These guys have mastered the
I
art
don't know
of
if you are
whatever
still
level
talking,
of
brother.
cuisine
Oh,
that
there you
is.
go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because I didn't know if you were still talking. It was lagging on my end, so my apologies
No, it's all
for
good, bro. I saw you.
interrupting.
It's all good.
Yeah. But no, that's good, man. Tea time. I don't really order much from there, but I will say that their orange juice and their apple juice is hitting. After I'm
Fire,
done walking and
fire,
enjoying, yeah, enjoying my
fire,
time over
bro.
there in Lucelle, it's hitting, bro. With the
Yeah,
ice in it too, it's hitting.
yeah.
It's so good. So that's my tea time experience. I do endorse it as well. I hope they do give you the 1 meal a day because you pumped a lot of money in there, So I do hope they give you that. You deserve
You,
that.
bro.
So
I had to take a hiatus because that's how much food of tea time I ate last year.
nah, they say you are what you eat, so you are tea time, my friend. So
Oh, bro, man, that place is my
um,
place.
yeah, for mine, I got two. I'm gonna say two. Number one, when I want to get fancy, when I want to show out, dress up a little bit, take the Uber Black somewhere, I like to go to
Ooh.
Morimoto in the
Okay, okay,
Mondrian.
okay, okay, okay.
I really love their food. It's high quality. The service is excellent. I love the ambiance there. And it's just a great environment. And shout out to my lovely wife who took me for my birthday. She knows me very well.
Shout
It's
out to
it's a
her.
great place. And anybody who has a little bit of coin who wants to step it up a little bit for the night, I definitely would say Morimoto because even the Mondrian Hotel itself is something different than any other thing you're going to experience in the country. So that's number
MashaAllah.
one. Now, the other one is Pizza Box. Now, anyone who knows me knows I love pizza, right? And I will eat pizza every day to the day I die. Maybe my wife won't like me doing that, but I love pizza, bro. I love it, love it, love it. And the Pizza Box owner, I actually know who he is. I know the CEO of Pizza Box. One of our parents at our school, God rest his
Okay,
soul, he connected me to his friend, one of his best friends, which owned Pizza Box, and
MashaAllah.
we connected. And I got the chance to know him a little bit more, his operation, and how much money and effort and care he had to put into his business. I think now he has 3 locations. I think he has one in Place Vendôme. He has one at the Andalus station, and there's another one as well I can't remember. So he has grown, and it's great to see someone I know grow their enterprise and are doing well
Mashallah.
profitably. You know,
Mashallah.
mashallah. He's a Muslim as well, I believe. He may not be Muslim, it doesn't matter. He's cool. Like, he's a cool dude. And I really appreciate his food as well. It's the closest thing I get to New York pizza.
Mashallah.
Closest thing I get to that, right? So it's amazing. So those are my 2 places, and Pizza Box is good on the wallet, you know. So y'all check it out, man. We gave y'all tea time, we gave you Pizza Box, we gave you Morimoto. I mean, what else do you want from us, man? We always gonna represent Qatar, you know. But those 3 places, check it out and tell them that AB and Justin sent you, or Hamza, depending on what you want to use. Yeah. They know the AB. They gonna show the video like, yeah, he sent me. Like, oh, I know him, man. Yeah, they gonna know who you are. So.
Tea time next to
Yes, sir.
Al Tumama Stadium. That's my boy out there, bro.
Mama Stadium. Okay, he got real specific.
That's my boy.
Yeah,
That's
specific
my boy,
on
bro.
that one. Let's see.
Yeah, next
Okay,
to the
cool.
next to the Waqud, bro. That's my boy out there that works there.
Yeah, Pizza Box at Al Andalus Station. I get a haircut, right?
Oh
And
shit.
shout out to my barber. Get a haircut, and then I walk right down to Pizza Box right there. Boom, and that's how we do it. You know, every Friday.
That's a combo right there. That's a motive.
Yeah, we working. We working. That's for sure.
We work. Yeah.
Listen, everybody, thanks for tuning in with us today. I hope you liked the show. This is our 3rd episode of the Expat Bros, so hopefully we cooking for y'all. Hopefully y'all like what y'all see. All we ask for y'all to do, we don't ask for any type of super chats or things like that. We just want you to share it. That's your tuition. Share it to someone else, one person. That's all you got to do. Let them see what we're doing. Hopefully they can support us. We don't really believe in fans and followers. You guys are our supporters, you know, and things like that, and we really appreciate that. We got some new things coming for y'all as well. So inshallah, I'll be on the lookout for that. But until then, enjoy your Saturday. And as always, signing off, Expat Bros.
All right, take care, bud.
Yeah.